You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Welcome back to Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch to Progressive can save an average of $668. Plus, for special occasions like Valentine's, 1-800-Flowers has the best bouquets and deals around, like 18 red roses for $29.99, or upgrade to 24 red roses for just $10 more. To order, go to 1-800-Flowers.com/ESPN. It is my honor and privilege to have next to me the IBF middleweight champion of the world. He is 35-2 for his career. On May 4th, he is fighting Saul Canelo Alvarez. The IBF title is on the line. The WBA title is on the line. The WBC title is on the line. Daniel Jacob, good to see you, big boy.
Likewise,
how you doing, man?
good to be.
First of all, how you feeling? How's everything going?
All is well. I'm great right now.
Just to educate my listeners, talk to them because you obviously had health challenges in the past. Just crystallize it for everybody so everybody knows what you went through and where you're at now.
Well, right now, I'm the first cancer survivor to be a boxing world champion. Thank you. Thank you very much. 2011, I was struck with osteosarcoma, which is a bone cancer. I was paralyzed by a tumor. Had to learn how to walk again, learn how to box again after doctors told me this would never be possible. And I came out to make history. And now we have the biggest opportunity that my career has faced up to yet.
What's the biggest reason you wanted this fight? To unify the belt or because you want Canelo Alvarez?
Because I want Canelo.
Why? Explain.
But I truly feel like I can beat him. Just like standing next to him, sizing him up. And you know, boxing is a physical sport. I can look at you and can tell you 5 minutes into what I'm going to do.
Well, don't look at me, damn it. You'll take me out in about 30 seconds, so let's be clear. But go ahead.
But no, he's a great challenger, but he is the number one guy in the sport of boxing. And to proclaim that title, I have to go through the likes of Canelo's and the Triple G and get victories, decisive victories. So that's the goal for this fight.
Is there anything about you that makes this nervous, makes you a little bit nervous? Let me preface my question by saying this. I thought Triple G would beat Canelo, and I thought he should have gotten a decision as opposed to a draw the first go-round.
Correct.
The second go-round, if you want to get technical about it, a part of me says Triple G should have won, but then I got surrounded by champions. This is a true story. I got surrounded by champions. I was out on the deck at the T-Mobile Arena. Andre Ward, undefeated light heavyweight champion of the world. The Charlo brothers at the time, both undefeated world champions. One of them recently lost by decision. He should have won. And then, of course, Errol Spence Jr., undefeated champion. All of them surrounded me. Stephen A., what the hell were you watching?
Yeah.
Did you see Canelo with those body shots? He was ripping Triple G up. So I saw that Canelo, and I'm saying, well, I don't feel the same way that I felt about him before. Now I'm a little bit worried. Why are you not worried?
Well, I'm not worried because I'm a completely different fighter than Triple G.
Okay.
Triple G is a lot bigger than he is. And I'm a lot bigger than Triple G is. So could you imagine me stepping inside that ring? I would be the biggest middleweight Canelo has ever faced and most talented. Triple G is only one way. He can fight aggressive, and that's all he does. If he fights sideways, going backwards, it's all over the place. For me, I can do it all. I can switch southpaw. I can go back. I can go side. I can box. I can bang. I can do it all. So that's what Canelo's faced with inside that ring.
Well, what you saw of Canelo Alvarez, what is it going to take to beat him, Daniel Jacobs?
Well, I'm not Triple G. I can't compare myself to him in that performance. It's totally, completely different game. He's going to have to adjust. He's going to have to find some things in there that he's never been faced with. And he's fought the guys of Mayweather. He fought the guys of Law. All these champion guys that he's fought. But I truly believe in my heart that I'm all those guys in one.
Daniel Jacobs, IBF middleweight champion of the world, right here with Stephen A., ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Having said all of that, as your game has evolved, you lost to Triple G by decision. I'm looking at the date that this took place here. I believe that was March 18th, 2017. You lost to Triple G at that time. A lot of people, including myself, I interviewed you, and you know I'm honest. I was worried about you. I was worried about you getting knocked out because Triple G was a monster, and he was knocking out everybody. And you went in there, went down in the fourth round, if I remember correctly, got up, and beat him practically every damn round from that moment in time. Is that the moment where you felt you had arrived?
Well, here's the thing. the media, the boxing world, everybody created this man to be, super superior. Mm-hmm. And going in that in the back of my mind, I didn't realize that I can compete and bang with this guy until you actually do it. So you can think you're the best until you actually get in there with the best, until you size up with him. Mm-hmm. And once I was in there and started to realize that I belong mm-hmm. and that this is just an illusion with everyone created, that's when I started to go to work. But the judges had it however they had it, but I have this great opportunity now. Now I'm world champion. Now Triple G needs a belt. Now I'm going to beat Canelo Alvarez, and I'm going to be the best middleweight champion boxer in the world.
So you beat Canelo Alvarez, and then you want a rematch with Triple G?
Absolutely.
You don't think this is one of those situations where Triple G and Canelo should have had a trilogy, and then you beat the winner as opposed to having to fight both?
But it's already happened. I already cut in the middle.
Right.
So what do I lay down for the third fight to happen?
Right.
No, I go in there and I take care of business Brooklyn style, and I set up and misplace all those plans that they have.
Now, I got to admit this, Daniel Jacobs.
Yes.
Canelo Alvarez is a better boxer than Triple G. Yeah. I think he's a better boxer than Triple G. He's not the monster puncher, just walks right to you that Triple G is, but he is a better boxer. So you talk about what adjustments Canelo's going to have to make. What about the adjustments you're going to have to make?
I'm being there like this on Canelo's forehead. He's just going to be swinging like this, missing. That's the allergy I see when I'm inside that ring. Mm-hmm. I'm a big boy. I'm a big middleweight. Mm-hmm. Canelo make his own weight classes. Mm-hmm. No disrespect, but you coming up against a totally different fighter inside that ring.
But you keep saying you're bigger. Obviously, you believe you got a punch. You're 35-2 for a reason now. You're 35-2 with 29 knockouts. Okay,
yes,
so you put people to sleep. We get all of that.
Yeah.
Is it possible that because you're bigger and you have the knockout power, that you two are going to be right there for Canelo to hit because you know you're bigger and stronger, and as a result, you don't have to box him back up?
So, true champions, and Floyd Mayweather said it best, true champions adjust. So I can go in there with an agenda to do A. If A doesn't work, I can do B. And if B doesn't work, I go to C. So that's my goal. Obviously, this is boxing. Anything can happen. You go in there with a game plan. He's that good with world-class fighters. Everybody's good. It's only a little margin that you have to be better than somebody. And I'm going to take full advantage of that. But like I said before, I got skill, speed, and power. And it's going to be a rough night.
Ain't nobody questioning this skill. Anybody that's questioning your skill don't know boxing. No doubt about it. IBF middleweight champion Daniel Jacobs right here with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio, ESPN News. But I will say this, and this is just a generic perspective about the sport of boxing that y'all say all the time as boxers that I never liked. Yeah. You know what that is?
What's that?
Well, plan A don't work, go to plan B. Well, damn it, if plan A don't work, you might not get to plan B. You get put to sleep in these kind of sports. This ain't basketball. Well, it ain't working in the first quarter. Let me adjust in the second quarter or the third. No. If plan A don't work in boxing, you might be to sleep in plan B. Why do y'all say that?
Well, I just think because 9 times out of 10, there's an opportunity to adjust. And if you're as good as you say you are, then you have that platform to do so. So I'm not getting knocked out by Canelo Alvarez. When the last time you've seen Canelo Alvarez knock out anybody for that reason?
Well, I saw him. Well, listen, I did see him put James Kirkland to sleep, although that was the welterweight division. I still haven't found James Kirkland since he got knocked out by Canelo Alvarez.
Thank you.
I haven't seen him. I mean, he won't even show up at a 7-Eleven. then you got Amir Khan. He got knocked out. I just saw him the other day. He's getting ready to fight Terrence Crawford, but he got knocked out. But I will concede there aren't. I mean, you're right. Canelo. Listen, I look at Canelo. He can box. He can punch. Do I think you can beat him? Yes, I do. But I think it would require your A game to do it.
Oh, absolutely. And my A game is what's going to get me through it. I'm not one who's disillusional to think, just because I feel like I have a better arsenal or better defensively that I can go in there and be lackluster. No, I have to go in there and put my best foot forward. I have the ultimate respect for the game. So what's necessary is me take the proper precautions and give that man his respect without giving him respect.
You know the other thing I'm worried about? I'm worried about the fact that he's so popular that a decision would it work in your favor?
That's my major concern.
Your decision. Because, listen, Daniel, for all of you out there, Daniel Jacobs is not just a champion. He's not just a great fighter. He's a class guy, class personified, really good, decent guy, great for the sport of boxing, great ambassador for the sport. Unfortunately, that's not the kind of stuff that judges think about in other people's eyes from time to time. So Daniel Jacobs is not Canelo in terms of Madison Avenue. Do you worry about that at all going into the fight? And if so, how does that make you act?
Well, I mean, I don't want to go in there acting like a desperate man, but I have to take the fight in my hands. I have to decisively win each round to where there's no doubt that Daniel Jacobs won that fight or won that round. Or, I joke around and say I got to knock Canelo Alvarez out to get a draw because it's that bad when you go to Vegas and you're fighting the cash cow.
Or New York or Vegas, it don't matter.
Anywhere.
Right? Yeah, don't even get me started with Mexico.
Right.
Mexico. That's right. No question about it.
But I just got to go. Like, listen. I was giving nothing in my life. I come from the pits, and they have this weight hydration calls where they're making all these speculations on what I can do and what I cannot do, all of these different things. Keep adding them on. My back was against the wall when I was almost dead in that hospital bed. Like, there's nothing that's going to stop me from making the most of this moment.
Room for you, my man. Good luck.
Brother.
I love that watch, by the way. Show the watch. I mean, damn. I don't have one of those. I appreciate it. What you were saying, John? Absolutely. Listen, before I let you get on out of here, talk to me about your foundation. My apologies for not asking about that earlier. Talk to me about that.
No worries. So, I started my foundation called the Get in the Ring Foundation. What we do is, being that I'm a survivor of cancer and physically, mentally, financially, all across the boards, I know how it affected me. And once I got in a position to where I wanted to help people in a similar situation, I was going to do that. So we started our foundation, Get in the Ring. We help so many different families with cancer, children with cancer, and have so many different programs. So if you guys are interested to see if you can donate or if you can help or even refer somebody to our foundation, you can check it out at getinthering.org and see exactly what I got going on, because the people's champ is real. You know what I mean? Not just being inside and making money off of fights, but doing right behind our community. That's what's key.
I deeply appreciate you saying that. I lost my mother to cancer, as I know you well know, so I definitely appreciate that effort. And thank you so much for it. Let me know if there's anything I can do. Happy to do it anytime. The one and only Daniel Jacobs, IBF middleweight champion of the world, right here with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio and ESPN News. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. Back with your calls to close out the show in a minute. By the way, Peloton is a game-changing indoor cycling bike that brings the energy of live studio classes right to your home anytime you want, winter or summer, rain or shine. Whether it's a monthly challenge to meet your goals, a training program for your next race, or setting a new personal best, the Peloton bike will make you want to show up and keep climbing the live leaderboard year-round. On average, Peloton members are riding their bikes more every year and crushing their personal records along the way. So learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com or visit your local showroom. Again, back with your calls in a minute to close out the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News.
Guess what? You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it! If you missed any of the Stephen A. Smith Show today, don't worry about it. You can listen to the podcast on your schedule, on demand. Brought to you by the new Capital One Saver Card. Earn 4% cash back on dining and entertainment, 2% at grocery stores, and 1% on all other purchases. Hey. What's in your wallet? Also, this Sunday, ESPN Deportes is your home for Super Bowl 53 in Espanol. Will Brady and Belichick win their 6th Super Bowl together, or will Jared Goff and Todd Gurley bring the Lombardi back to L.A.? It's Super Bowl 53 this Sunday in Spanish on ESPN Deportes. Coverage starts at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks again to Bill Romanowski, Will Packer, Daniel Jacobs, of course, Jamal Adams for the New York Jets are coming on the show today. Tomorrow, Shaquille O'Neal, my brothers, including one from another mother. Shaquille O'Neal. Primetime Deion Sanders. His 30 for 30 doc is coming out tomorrow on ESPN. And, of course, the one and only Travis Kelce, arguably the best tight end in all of football, playing for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's on the show tomorrow as well. His decision-making is nice, too. Have you seen this girl? It's very nice decision-making on this part. Very, very nice decision-making. No doubt about that. Thanks to everybody for joining me today. I'll be back here in the ATL live from Super Bowl 53 tomorrow and Friday. 22 hours from now, I'll be back. Until then, peace and love.
That's just a sample of what you'll hear on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.